it's Michelle, and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. Happy Monday. We're off to a brand new week, so I hope it's a good one for you. But we do have a lot of juicy royal tea to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. It has been announced that King Charles and Queen Camilla will undertake a state visit to Kenya and address the painful legacy of empire head-on. They have a 4-day trip planned from October 31st through November 3rd. They will see His Majesty take time during this visit to deepen his understanding of the wrongs suffered in this period by the people of Kenya. Now, this was a quote from his private secretary, Chris Fitzgerald. Mr. Fitzgerald went on to say the king would acknowledge the more painful aspects of the United Kingdom and Kenya's shared history, including the 1952 emergency as the country approaches its 60th anniversary of independence. Now, since Kenya became independent, the two countries have enjoyed a very warm relationship. However, it is hoped that this state visit will further that relationship. It is understood that it came at the request of Kenya's President Ruto, who is keen to focus on their shared future. So I think this is a great visit, and I'm sure it's going to be a huge success. So we do have some photographs that came out from the wonderful gala that celebrated the 18th birthday of Prince Christian of Denmark. And one of the photographs that they released showed Prince Christian flanked by 4 queens in waiting. Now, the thing that I'm very excited about is the next generation of young royals. We have 5 future queens of Europe. That is a lot of queens. So right now we have Queen Marguerite of Denmark, who is the only queen who is a ruling monarch currently in the world after Queen Elizabeth passed away. But the future generation, we have 5 new queens that are going to be ruling Europe for the first time in history. That is a lot of sitting monarchs. Normally, they had the rule where only men could inherit the throne. Currently in Monaco, of course, in Japan, they have that rule that only the male heir can inherit the throne. But most recently, in the past couple of years, we've seen countries like Norway and Sweden and Denmark to where the oldest child, whether male or female, will inherit the throne. So we saw 5 of Europe's future monarchs gathered in celebration for Prince Christian's birthday. Now, we can't forget Princess Leonor of Spain. I'm not sure if she was in attendance, but she is also going to be a future queen, the very first queen monarch in Spain in over 200 years. So she is making history. Now, the next 3 heirs to the British throne are all men. We have King Charles, Prince William, and Prince George. So we will not see a female sitting on the throne of England for over 100 years. So the fact that Europe is going to be dominated by future queens, I'm absolutely loving this, and all of these young ladies are absolutely stunning. So here's a portrait of them wearing their tiaras. So dressed to the nines, the future queens are Princess Estelle of Sweden, who's 11, Princess Ingrid Alexandria of Norway, 19, Princess Katarina Amalia of the Netherlands, 19, and Princess Elizabeth of Belgium, 21. And of course, Princess Leonor of Spain, who will turn 18 on the 31st of October. So then we have Prince George, who is 10. So I would love to see more of the UK royals interact with the European royals. We have a really great group of young royals that are up and coming. I think I might do a brand new series on my other channel royal news, history, and fashion because I find the next generation of royals very exciting. But what do you guys think of the future queens of Europe? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. So little Prince Harry is frustrated, y'all, and no, he's not constipated, although he looks constipated and miserable 90% of the time because he is married to Meghan Markle, the greatest narcissistic diva herself. But according to this news article, Prince Harry is frustrated that Meghan Markle is stealing his thunder. She's stealing the limelight and airtime away from Prince Harry. Now, who would have thunk it that Prince Harry went from being the royal spare, constantly in the shadow of his big brother, Prince William, to be in the shadow of his narcissistic microphone-stealing wife. Now, if you watch that New York City car crash, and no, I'm not talking about the near catastrophic event that happened in May, I'm talking about the Archwell Parent Summit, that car crash, you can tell that Prince Harry didn't want to be there. He was really miserable, like he was really second-guessing his life choices as he was heading up to the stage behind Meghan Markle. So you can tell that Harry looks like a defeated and deflated little boy. When he was on the stage, he was doing those self-soothing, leg rubs. He looked very awkward, very nervous. You can tell that Meghan Markle was in her element. She had her outfit matched to her aesthetic, matched to the stage. She was talking her word salad gobbledygook while Harold sat there in the corner. Now you have to remember that Prince Harry's born a prince. He was born into a certain world of privilege, a certain world of fame. He's never had to work for anything in his entire life. He's always been the main character, the main event. Everywhere Harry would go, they would be like, Harry, Harry, Harry. They loved him. He was the vivacious, red-headed little Harry, the son of Princess Diana, the grandson of Queen Elizabeth, and now the son of King Charles. He had a built-in fan mechanism, a built-in fan following from his birth. He hasn't had to try hard to win people over. He just was a beloved prince, born into privilege and millions upon millions of dollars. Everywhere he went, crowds would erupt. He had Secret Service. He was special. Even though he was the spare, he was still special. But he ain't special anymore. Now Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are competing with one another for airtime. You have two narcissist, spoiled, privileged people fighting over the microphone and who's going to say what. But you can tell Harry concedes to Meghan Markle 90% of the time because, let's be honest, he needs to ride home with this woman in the car. He has to listen to her berate him on the way home. Allegedly. But he doesn't look happy. He doesn't look like he's striving. He doesn't look like he's living his best life. And Meghan Markle, her body language, although she was very happy to be there looking like the human wonton and a microphone talking about herself, and I really liked how she mentioned she was a mom to two kids. We're just very fortunate. We have two kids, 4.5 and 2.5. Our kids are just really little, but we're still looking out for them because of the security to a group of parents who lost their children. How many times did Meghan Markle bring up the fact she's a mom and that she has two kids to a group of people who lost their kids? Talk about being insensitive. It's like bragging about a brand new mansion that you're building to a group of people whose house burned down in a fire. Brag about it some more, Meghan. Brag about it some more. Tone deaf. So they said that Meghan Markle is struggling to find relevance, to find a mission, to find a purpose. That is the number one problem with Harry and Meghan, is they are two rich, privileged people who don't have a purpose. But the problem with Meghan Markle is she's just not honest. I mean, we all know she's a liar, but just be honest, sis. Be honest with yourself. You just want to be rich and famous, and there's nothing wrong with that. Own it. Be a rich bitch. We don't care. Just don't lie about it. Don't pretend to be this philanthropist or a person who's about the kids, who's about kindness and charity, because you're not. That's the problem with Harry and Meghan, is that they don't have a purpose. They don't have any relevance. And like I mentioned before, Prince Harry is a man who never had real ambition and who doesn't have any real goals. The royal family helped him establish the Invictus Games. I believe William also set that up with him and gave it to him for something to do, okay? So Harry never really did anything on his own. He never really had to. He would wake up, get dressed, and they would tell him where to go and what to say and shake hands. And that's literally all he was required to do. And he couldn't even do that half the time. So now you have Meghan Markle, a very ambitious, showgirl wannabe, who now has a seat at the table with the A crowd, and she's trying to prove herself, kind of like the girl going back to the high school reunion. Look at y'all. Look, I'm famous. Look at me. I'm successful. And they're like, whatever. But the problem is nobody cares anymore. There were no fans lining the street of New York City. They did not draw a crowd of people. It was like nobody cared. So all those cars, whether it was 3 cars or 7 cars, it didn't matter because nobody cared. The only people who were lining the street was the press. And we still don't know how many people were actually in attendance. I've heard rumors there were 20 or 50, but most of them were press. It was a pretty boring summit with a bunch of gobbledygook of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. This was a vanity project to give Megsy something to do, where she can wear a $5,000 outfit and pretend to care and give a speech with a microphone, since she couldn't do it at Kevin Costner's event. This whole thing was just for Meghan, a vanity project to prove that she's relevant to the world. The problem is that she is a wannabe actress pretending to be Mother Teresa, and nobody is buying it anymore. Nobody is buying it. Even Prince Harry didn't look like he was buying the speech he was actually giving. Have you ever been somewhere and you met a salesperson and they're not even believing in the product that they're trying to sell you? I'm not going to buy, but thank you. So it looked like Harry wasn't even believing his own message. He was sitting there in his chair, rubbing his thigh, wanting it to be over. He looked uncomfortable in his own skin. So now Prince Harry realizes he has gone from being the royal spare to being the spare in his own life and his own marriage. And he's very uncomfortable, thinking he was going to be the superstar of America. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but your wife, Meghan Markle, has taken over that role for herself. But in my opinion, both Harry and Meghan are finding it's not so easy over there in Hollywood. Even with those royal titles, people don't care about them. Even with Dr. Gabor Mate, he is now regretting his association with Prince Harry. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have become so negative and toxic that nobody in Hollywood really wants to associate with them. Well, guys, that is all the royal news that I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. And be sure to check out the Atlas VPN, as right now is the best time to get yourself some added security online. You can save up to 85% off and get your VPN for as little as $1.83 a month. So if you're interested, I will have a link for you down below. But as always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.